How's it going, guys? Vaibhav here, and before we get into today's topic, let's talk about brand loyalty for just a few minutes. I think brand loyalty is something that every single brand has to a certain extent, and brand loyal consumers are those that buy pretty much everything the brand has to offer. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because you're invested in that brand, but in 2021, consumers like that are really hard to find. I know one really good example of a brand that does brand loyalty the best when it comes to the tech space, and that has to be Apple. You get this ecosystem, you get good products, and people don't necessarily feel restricted by the ecosystem. And with that combination, pretty much everything that Apple releases sells well because there's a very big crowd of people who want to try these products because they're brand loyal. And not many other technological companies have that. Samsung does have it to a certain extent, but I've read reports that brand loyalty is decreasing for Samsung. And that's where today's video comes into play. What Samsung has done is made an experience application. So this is sort of a web application for iPhone users, which they can download on their iPhone and experience the One UI ecosystem from Samsung flagships on their iPhone. You can do this either on your iPhone going to iTest.nz, and no, this isn't specific to New Zealand, so you can pretty much access it from anywhere, or you can go to the same website on your PC or computer laptop and then scan the barcode using your iPhone and get to it that way. So right at the start, when you launch the application, it does say that this is a toned down experience of the One UI experience you typically find on a Samsung Galaxy device, but this is just to make sure that the iPhone users sort of get familiar with the Samsung ecosystem. And it does make for quite a fun side-by-side with the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra that I've got. You can play around with a few things. So for example, launching the camera starts up a series of videos about a person who just explains everything to do with the camera settings on a Galaxy device. Things like scene optimizer and AI modes on Samsung cameras, the general user interface of the camera, as well as an additional camera feature like Samsung Single Take. Once you're done, you can actually use the Samsung viewfinder to take photos from your iPhone's camera if you give it permission, which is pretty cool. You can also interact with the SMS application, but I think Samsung couldn't fully incorporate its keyboard, and when you do send someone a message, it just replies with a generic response of this being sort of a demo version of what you'd expect. The dialer though, that's a pretty neat touch, and once you dial any number, it takes you to this message.
The person you have tried to reach is not available. Maybe they're too busy playing around with the amazing features on their brand new Samsung S21.
And to be honest, they're not wrong. I do have the phone with me. Another really cool feature is access to Galaxy themes, where you can go ahead and apply a certain theme. I think Samsung did this just to make sure that iPhone users know that they're not limited with the software experience here, to sort of sway iPhone users into Samsung's direction even further, because with iOS, you are restricted to the same look for pretty much the duration you have the phone. The rest of the user interface though is a carbon copy of One UI. You get the notification shade, you also get a Google Now feed, which even has a nice little Easter egg bundled in, so you can get a discount on the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro. But in other cases, instead of having that interactivity, it just shows you a message of what a certain feature can do. So that's sort of the limited aspect of this web application. You cannot add widgets to the home screen, which could have been a nice touch, but the widget on screen, the Google search widget, actually glitches the application. So you go to the Galaxy S21 Google search, but at the same time, you're sort of knocked out of the application and go back into Safari. But there's definitely something unique about the experience, and I wouldn't be surprised to see other brands jump onto the bandwagon as well. So for example, Oppo could make an experience not just for the iPhone, but they could also make an experience for other Android phones. So let's say a Samsung Galaxy user, how does Oppo's ColorOS behave on a Samsung Galaxy device? And this could sort of spur a new era of competition. I don't know how far companies will take it, but given the fact that Android has skins to differentiate themselves and brands have their own proprietary skins, it would be a nice marketing move for sure. But that's about it for this short little video. I do have the link that you can access to download the One UI experience on your iPhone. If you do happen to own an iPhone, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you swayed by the overall experience? I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but it is a move that might lead to more customers for Samsung in the future. Thanks for watching. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.